The question is, you are working at a retail store and you're at the front counter.
Okay.
A customer walks through the door. You A, run to the back and hide. B, keep staring at your phone. C, say hello. D, say hello. How can I help you?
Okay. I'm going to go with D.
Are you looking to improve your sales skills without compromising your values? Welcome to Sales Made Easy, a podcast for business and personal growth. Join Harry Spate, author of Selling with Dignity, your formula for life-changing sales results, as he hosts sales experts and business owners who share their journeys of personal growth and business success without resorting to pushy sales tactics. Now, here's your host, Harry.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have an extraordinary guest. The reason I say he is extraordinary, well, because he's got it in his bio would be one reason. James Kademan is joining me, and he currently owns Calls on Call Extraordinary Answering Service. He does that. He helps he coaches small businesses with his draw-in customers business coaching. The guy also has a podcast, which is Authentic Business Adventures Podcast, which he's had for like 4 years now. And he's a motorcycle enthusiast. So Sir James Kademan, welcome to the Sales Made Easy podcast. What is the good word, my friend?
My gosh, it's a sunny day. So outside of being on a podcast, I think it's a great day to get on a motorcycle.
Well, we could podcast on motorcycles, but I would have to go out and get one and learn how to ride one. But
It's not too late.
We're here.
Not too late. Yeah. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So awesome to have you. I love your energy. And so, Sir James, I'm reading your bio here, and you've got this calls on, what is it?
Calls on Call Extraordinary Answering Service.
Yes. All right. So tell me, what is that?
So we answer phones for small service-based businesses. So if you imagine any van with a phone number on it that you see on the highway, if you call that number, they typically won't answer their phone, but they may have a message that says that your call is very important to them. It's so important, they're not going to answer it. And you may leave a voicemail that they will never check, probably never call you back. And you'll still end up having the problem, whatever it is that you're calling about.
Days later.
Solve that problem by actually answering the phone, taking care of the schedules of the people that work hard doing whatever it is that they're good at, right? Whether that's hair, massage, plumbing, electrical, accounting, whatever. People have skills that take care of the skills. We take care of the customer service aspect.
All right. So this just raised the question in my mind, because that's the way my mind works.
Sure.
Is there data out there that shows that how much potential missed business is on missed calls or something along those lines?
I don't know if there would be conclusive, because I say that because when we would try to sell clients back in the day, what we would try to say or try to have them do, help them with, is figuring out how many calls are they missing, and then the average value of each client to figure out a dollar value of what actually answering their phone calls would mean to them. And as soon as we said math, people just got glossy eyed. We could have told them add 1 + 1, and they're just like, wow, can't help you there. Not my jam. So we stopped doing the math and just said, hey, if you miss 1 call in a month, what's that worth to you?
There you go. And so my guess is that one business opportunity closed, one is actually pays for your services generally.
Correct. Yep. Broadly speaking. Yep. Unless you're selling hot dogs or something like that.
Sure. Yes. But then you probably don't need an answer. Oh, anyway, right. I digress.
Yeah.
So how did you get started in that business? Sounds like an interesting business to figure out, hey, this is what I could be good at.
Yeah. I actually did not intend to start the business.
Okay.
I had a copier repair company, and I started that from scratch in 2006. And I built that up, and it was essentially me, my cell phone, and a few technicians. And as I was growing it, there was a time when money was tight because you're fixing copiers, right? So your margin is not that great. At any rate, I'm on the phone driving, and payroll is due, and I think payroll is due in 5 days, something like that. And I was still trying to think like, how am I going to make payroll? Because I had a lot of people that owed me money. I did not have a lot of money in the bank.
Yep.
So, and I checked, you can't make payroll with IOUs.
Right. The checks don't go very far.
Yeah. So I had a client call me up that owed me some money, and they're like, "Hey James, how's it going? I'm all set to pay this credit or this bill. I got a credit card number for you." And I'm like, "Great, right? This is $600 and some that they owed me. So it was going to be enough to close the gap on payroll." And I'm like, "Great, I'm ready." They're like, "I can tell you're on the road. So how about I give you a call back?" And I was like,
goodness.
"No, I can drive and take notes, right? It's safer than that."
Right.
So anyways, I get off the phone with her, and I was thinking, she's right? Like that wasn't ideal. So then I thought, well, that's not very professional either on my end to try to take care of calls, because I was certainly missing calls.
Yep.
So I thought, hey, I'm a small service business. There are millions of small service businesses. Somebody else has had to have solved this problem. So I reached out to all the call answering services that I could find. I flew out to see one in Portland. I just went all over the place, and I found people that could answer the phone. I did not find anyone that I thought offered the customer service that we were at when we did answer the phone. And on top of that, as soon as I mentioned the word schedule, where I wanted the people answering the phone to actually be able to solve the customer's problem by getting them on the calendar of the technician, they're like, whoa, we can't have all these people on the calendar. We can take a message. And I said, I have a voicemail that takes a message.
Right.
I want a person to actually solve the problem. So at any rate, long story short, I found a business partner. We started Calls on Call, 12-ish years ago, maybe a little more. And then we just grew it. So we solved the problem that I had, problem that some of her clients had, built it. I bought her out 5 years ago, whatever.
Wow.
And pandemic was good to us because people realized that your customer service people don't have to be in the office.
Yep.
So that worked out. That was one of the few ways the pandemic worked out.
Yes. Okay, great. Well, I mean, I just find that really fascinating that you stumbled across this, like, I've got this problem with payroll and a credit card number being given to me, and then drawing conclusions or drawing the thought process all the way to this could be a pretty good business.
Yeah. The idea was that I knew that other businesses were terrible at answering their phone. And I knew when I'll give you a really quick example with a tiny landscaping job that I had. I had to, I don't know if it's a landscaper. I just needed to extend a drain pipe underground. I called 12 landscapers. I heard back from 3 of them. None of them answered the phone. I heard back from 3 of them. One said, that's too small of a job. 2 said, I'll be there at, I'll come take a look at it. Those 2 never showed up. So I ended up just renting a tool thing to bury this pipe, whatever. And it's one of those things like, I have money that I was happy to give to somebody else to do this job. They probably do it better than me, but they weren't they must either hate money or whatever reason. It was a disservice to me. It was also a disservice for them because they're spending money on marketing, have their website up, do all that jazz. But who cares if you're not answering the phone or communicating somehow, some way?
Yeah.
So it's just a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
It is a weird dynamic, I guess.
It is. And, I experienced something similar recently in Florida. We have what they call lanais, which are big screened areas around your pool so that 1 million mosquitoes don't fly into your pool area.
Oh, okay.
And they don't do well in heavy wind or when branches fall on them.
Okay.
Right. So it turns into like a tarp and that you're trying to hold down with stakes, tent stakes, and screens pop and so forth. But I'm telling you, the number of people I called and left messages, it's like, are you kidding me? And somebody call me back. It's just very frustrating. So that must happen a lot of times where people are just missing business, and then they're paying on the other side. They're paying for whatever, Facebook ads or Google ads or
website
SEO.
Yep.
Right.
We just want to be found. And then they get 90% of the way there. And then the last The last 10% is just answering the call.
Yeah. And people don't, I mean, there's probably a lot of, I mean, you've got personality, but you probably come across a lot of people that don't have personality and they're not great on the phone, right?
Oh my gosh.
So having someone like you or your team that's pleasant on the phone, it's like a huge add to the team, right?
Yeah, huge. Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. We just hired a couple people more, and we have assessments that people take when they apply. One of those assessments is a customer service assessment. And I thought when we put this test out there that this is going to be just a minor hurdle for people to get over to get an interview. It is amazing. I bet 80% at least, 80% of the applicants fail that test.
Oh my goodness.
And not even like a little, like you got a few wrong kind of thing. I mean, like fail it.
Okay.
Like
give me an example of a question or two.
Multiple choice question, right? Because this is a time where we don't do that.
I'm going to put myself in the zone, customer service zone. I'm applying for a job. I'm now giving this test. The question in front of me is,
you are working at a retail store and you're at the front counter.
Okay.
A customer walks through the door. You A, run to the back and hide. B, keep staring at your phone. C, say hello. D, say hello. How can I help you?
Okay, I'm going to go with D.
Smart man. You passed, man. I'll get you an interview.
The pressure was on.
Yeah.
People fail. But seriously, come on. Okay.
That's serious.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's one of those things where when you go to a place, a store, you talk with somebody in business, and you're like, is this person trying to be mean? Or do they hate money?
Right.
And I always think they would have failed this test.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know.
They would have failed.
Maybe their mom was mean to them. I don't know. I don't think anyone to me trained me to just be a nice human. I think you just knew. That's what I thought until you see people.
Well, yeah. I used to think that too, but no. That's we actually had training from our parents, apparently, or they showed us the way.
Yeah, somehow.
Right. Somehow along the way. Yes. This brings up, if this is not something you want to talk about, just wave your hands frantically and say, no, Harry, please don't go there. I think this thing about customer service is really a great topic. I was talking to somebody recently. They asked a question about so I have this book, a quick plug, Selling with Dignity.
Yeah.
And they asked me, do I work with people in retail? And I typically don't, right? It's not really on B2B. But they asked, well, how does this work in retail? And I thought for a second, I said, really simply, I would kill it with customer service retail. It's just like, make your store the most friendly place. So when people walk in, they're experiencing complete friendliness and love. And when they leave, they'll say, oh, that was so awesome. Those people are so nice.
Right.
What is there anything, what's your thought on that? First of all, about growing a business with customer service?
Two thoughts. One is, as far as the phone calls go with us, we tell our crew that your job is to make the caller feel better when they hang up the phone than when they first called you, regardless of what they're calling about. Your job is to make them feel good. Right.
Yeah.
So, but interesting story. I was told by a guy that used to work at a grocery store locally here that's known for crazy low cycle prices. So it's the whole service, quality, and price. They're going for price.
Yep.
Their crew is told not to interact or to avoid interacting with customers.
Because
that's a cost. So they have limited crew.
Okay.
And they just want customers in and out. They're treating customers like cattle. We don't care.
Okay.
Push them in, shove them out, kind of thing. So, and I experienced this because I went there to buy a gift card. I figured it's a big grocery store. You get gift cards, whatever. So I had to go pick up a gift for someone. Gift cards easy, but it's a huge store. Like you do a triathlon trying to get grapes. And so I found this guy and I'm like, hey, where are your gift cards? And he's like, up front. And it's not like this is a Hallmark store or something where it's 500 square feet. This is like 50,000 square feet. And I'm like, a little more specific. Like, aisle 59 or something like that. And he was like, up front, right? And so anyways, I was joking with this guy that used to work there. I'm like, what is up with this? And that's when he told me they're trained not to interact. So I was putting this guy out like, oh, I didn't mean to actually give you business. I'm sorry. So it was kind of interesting how it was the first time I ever heard of somebody actually actively saying that customer service is a bad thing. It blew my mind.
Yeah, incredible. So what? Yeah. So if you think about that just for a half a second, what could the outcome? There could have been a number of outcomes. One outcome is because of the love you felt with their up front, you said, I'm going to tell all my friends how awesome this place is. Or because you got no love, you're not going to tell anyone anything.
Or we had
other than, and then exactly.
Because we were sitting around campfire, right? Yeah. We had some buddies, I don't know, 15, 20 buddies. We're sitting around. And so we were talking about how terrible customer service is at the store.
Yeah. And how can that help business, right?
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
In a little bit of a narcissistic way. Like, why do you got to be a jerk? You couldn't take 30 seconds out of your life to just either tell me or show me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the guy was doing. He was just walking along. So I don't believe that I was interrupting him from helping a woman give birth or something like that.
No. And probably they have more than enough time in the day to get their stuff done, in my guess, but I may be wrong. But
who knows?
They are saving lives. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not
who knows?
Here to judge. But yes, that's an interesting philosophy.
Yeah. It reminds me of the touch screens that you see at the fast food restaurants now.
Yeah.
And I'm taking 10 minutes to first I have to learn the software because I don't go to fast food restaurants that often.
Exactly.
Then I got to figure out what it is that I'm trying to find. Like I just want a burger or something. Where's your burger portion? And then I keep getting these add-on things. Like, can I just talk to a human? Just be like, hey, I just want a cheeseburger. That's all I want. That's all I want. So it's interesting how we're kind of forced. On the flip side, I think it's tough to find employees. So I can kind of see like, hey, you're getting replaced by a computer screen. So I understand it both ways, but from a customer service aspect, if you're in the service business at all, I personally think it's a big deal. And I believe you can charge more money if you offer better service.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do you believe that?
Because I know it's true. I'll tell you a really quick example. Really quick example.
Okay, good. I like it. I love examples.
Copier repair company. We hired for personality first and then skill set second. Because I can train skill set. I cannot train personality. I've tried, can't do it. So anyways, I got these techs they're talkative. Man, so you go into this office that has all these cubicles.
Are or aren't talkative? I missed that.
Super talkative.
Okay.
Super talkative.
All right.
Yeah. So the idea is that you go to offices that have copiers, right? They have 50 million cubicles. These people are just prairie dogging because they've never seen another human besides the person that sits across from them for 10 years. So this copier repair guy shows up and they need a friend. Copier repair guys chatting them up. Fixing the machine. I can remember that I had a machine I was working on at the state office. I think I had 12 people around me. And all I could think is how much money is being spent in payroll with me putting on the show here. Anyways.
Coincidentally, this is the same day you were thinking about, I need to make payroll.
Yeah, right. Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I digress. Sorry.
Probably in that realm. I was certainly thinking about money. Anyways, I get called. I'm working on this copier, or I go to work on this copier, and I can see it's got a sticker on the copier for one of our competitors. And I said, hey, lady that called us up, you probably have a contract on this copier, so they won't pay for me to fix it. You should probably call them. Like, I'd love to fix it for you, and I can, but we're not going to be free. And she's like, you charge us whatever you need. And I'm like, okay, is this on a contract? It is. I can't stand them. I hate them. I don't want to see them ever again. And so I was thinking, okay, I fixed the machine. It was $350 or something like that. So I gave her the invoice and I said, hey, just out of curiosity, what do you pay these guys a month? We pay $500 a month. So here I am thinking, wait a second. These guys, because they're jerks, are getting $500 a month, don't have to do a thing. because I'm a nice guy, I'd actually do the work and I'm making less money. So it's one of those things where like, huh. So I was getting calls because it was Doc Jam's Printer Repair. We were known as, we were high end. We treated people right. People loved calling us. I swear people intentionally broke their machines or stuck something in there just so that they could have someone to talk to. We were told that by a few clients because in the end, they weren't the ones paying. It was their company that was paying. But it was funny. And it was, we try to make it as entertaining as possible for them, right? Nobody likes their copier being broken.
Right.
But
Exactly.
our competition was so bad at customer service. And I'll expand that story a little bit if you got a moment.
I love it.
So I got this company, Doc Jam's Printer Repair. I decided this would be a great idea to get out of this business. It's a lot of work. It's not a lot of cash, and paperless is looming. Anyways, so I ended up selling the company, and I made the mistake of selling the company with a extra nut based on them maintaining a certain revenue threshold. The revenue threshold that we had in the agreement was less than I did in my first year in business. So I thought, how can you possibly go under that? No problem. I can totally agree to that. Like a little business selling noob. Anyways, so what happens is their crew, their service crew, some of them that have been with them over 20 years, were not talkative people. They smell like cigarettes. They got the shirt half untucked. They're all frazzled. They look like they just rolled out of bed. They don't say hi. They do the job, right? They fix the copier. Great. But nobody likes talking to them because these guys aren't talkative. So this company that bought my company loses a bunch of clients. I get phone calls from these clients because they'd been with me for years that said, James, dude, what happened? And I'm like, hey, I sold. And they're like, yeah, you got to talk to them. I don't want that guy ever in my office again. Because they were just like, they stunk, or they weren't, you get someone new in your office when you're used to your close knit circle of cubicle mates. And you got somebody cool walk in there, right? Yay, you're all happy. I don't know, doing whatever to keep them happy. Fine and dandy. But when you get somebody that's annoying or stinks or doesn't look like they care, you don't want to see them again.
Yeah.
And there's 50 other businesses that are doing what you do. So they just call somebody else that's annoying.
Find someone less annoying that may not smell like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Right. That would be, fairly easy to find, I would think, if people were to answer their phone, though. But that's a whole nother thing.
If only. Yeah.
Right? But maybe you can help those people. But yeah, so here's the valuable lesson, ladies and gentlemen. You can sell more because people want to be around you. Who do they want to? We hear this over and over again. Thank you, Bob Berg. People do business with people they know, like, and trust, or that's their preference anyway. Here's, fun-loving, conversational guy or gal walks into the office, take care of a problem, can probably join in a conversation. Person demands more of an income, right? Because they have a little more talent,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
get a little more pay, but they might even have additional incentives for finding more business.
Absolutely.
Right. So you think about the person who doesn't like to talk, is very skilled, but is never going to have a conversation with a or with a client and uncover more business. The client would have to say, hey, you untalkative person who never says hello and never smiles, we have more business for you. Would you like it?
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen, but they have some charming salesperson that comes in and, throws a couple of dollars for donuts or something, smiles, and introduces their lovely technician, James Kademan, or somebody like him. And James goes in, lights up the room, and now you've got business galore because they say, we've got more opportunity. We have another location. We've got this and that. We've got this problem. Do you know anyone who does this? And you can say, yes, I do. But this is right. This is the way business works. This is why people, when they're given a choice, go make phone calls to find somebody good, or work with the person that's already in front of you that's good and give them more stuff.
You got it.
What's your thoughts?
Be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice. Plus, the added bonus is if you're the employee that's actually nice versus the employee that's just doesn't want to talk to anyone,
Grumpy. We'll call him Grumpy.
Yeah, we'll call
One
him
of the
grumpy.
7 dwarves.
How do you think the grumpy guy likes his job versus the guy that's having a good time talking with people?
Yeah.
Grumpy guy's gonna not care if he gets canned. He's not gonna care if the person never wants to see him again. He's just not gonna care. Just universally in life, you could probably find a bunch of other problems besides the job in the background there.
Yeah.
But the person that's just doing what they can to enjoy the job, have fun. I find that I enjoy the job when I'm talking with people, having fun, rather than just hanging out and doing the job kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it's
yeah.
personality. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, personality has something to do with it. So what do you say to the person that says, well, good help is hard to find, James?
Well, they're not wrong.
I agree.
It has been my experience that there are people out there that you can hire. It may take a little bit longer to find them, but they exist. It is not, I don't want to say diamond in the rough or anything like that, but us, when we hired these last 2 people, we had, I want to say 300, 400 applicants. I interviewed, where are we at here? 20, let's call it 30-ish. I take that back. We scheduled interviews with 30-ish.
Okay.
High teens showed up, right?
Wow.
Zoom interviews, right? So nothing crazy. I didn't get stuck in traffic or anything like that. So we whittled that 400-ish down to a couple, and it was not hard to whittle. So it takes some time, right? Instead of hiring somebody within a day, you got to hire them within a couple weeks, but they're out there.
Yeah.
They're out there.
And if you think that good people are hard to find, guess what? They will be even harder to find, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's just like, if you go in thinking that and you're negative, instead of saying, I only need 2.
Right.
Right.
That's it.
I only need 2 quality people, and they may be in a 7-Eleven working a dead end job.
Totally.
Right. Being a manager. I mean, no offense to the 7-Eleven listeners, but
no, not at all.
Right. You get the idea, is that there's quality people everywhere. They don't know opportunities exist. So sometimes you're in a restaurant and you have a server who is a quality server. I mean, it could be even a friendly person at the local fast food place too. If we didn't have to work with a dang computer, a flat screen, trying to order a cup of coffee, for crying out loud, or a burger, and we actually talked to the person, found out they were super helpful, we say, hey, have you ever thought about doing something a little bit different that might give you a little more financial opportunity? Yeah. Those people are out there as well. Have you ever had conversations like that?
Oh my gosh, tons of times.
Yeah. Okay.
I've given out my card to tons of people in service industries that you just run into. And you're like, hey, if you're ever looking, just let me know. Yeah. It's interesting. You say good people are hard to find.
Yeah.
But I always joke that I can find morons easy. I can find somebody rude, no problem. So good people are hard to find. Bad people can find them, no problem. No problem. Stick your arm out, you'll find one.
Oh, it's too funny. You can just go to the grocery store that has everything in boxes, right?
Find a guy that won't show you where the gift certificates are.
When you're carrying around your own box in a grocery store, I was thinking there's a store I knew, but anyway, I was making the connection because I'm really a friendly person, and I go to the store where it has stuff in boxes. I won't mention their name for the 12 listeners, but I try to small talk the person who's taking my money, and I get nothing. And then you go into other stores where people in Florida are all in green. Anyone who's listening in Florida will know who that is. They are ridiculously friendly. And do I spend more there? Absolutely. Do I want to go there and spend more? No. But if I want friendly people, I go where the friendly people are. And they laugh at my jokes. I think they're all taught, hey, when people come in, they crack some little wise joke or something, laugh, because then they'll come back. Their place, not so much. They don't care.
It's interesting. There's a gas station chain around here called Quick Trip, KWIK. They put their people through customer service training. For the most part, their employees are extremely friendly. Not obnoxiously so, but it's a gas station that you almost look forward to going to. Yep. There's a BP gas station just down the road that had been there for years. That was just like, I think they had 4 pumps or something like that. It had a Subway inside it, and it always seemed kind of grungy. And you never had to worry about having to wait for a pump there. Quick Trip goes up. This is probably 5 years ago. Quick Trip goes up further down the road from the highway, so more inconvenient.
Yep.
I think they have 15 pumps or 16, I suppose would be even number, whatever it is. They're full all the time. And you have to go past the BP to go to this Quick Trip. The BP is still empty. And if you're just getting gas, like the gas prices and all that kind of stuff are the same, but still people go and get gas at the Quick Trip. It's brighter, it's cleaner, the people are nice. And all I could think is, wait a second, wait. This wasn't building a rocket ship. All you had to do was be nice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no like, oh my gosh, what is the secret? No secret. Just be nice. That's it.
Oh my goodness, James, this is magical. So basically the moral of the story is be nice, make more money.
Amen to that.
Right
there.
Be nice,
you nailed it.
make more money. Wow. We've just simplified so many things in life as far as when it comes to business, business coaching, you name it. Be nice, make more money.
Solved it. Yeah. Right. Session 1, all done.
Yeah. And clean the gas station and make the restrooms look nice too. But right. Simple things.
I think it comes down to a lot of it from my perspective is respect of the customer. Because when you're nice to them, I feel like there's respect, right? If you're mean to someone, I feel like you don't have respect for me. If you're like, oh, right. We were at this restaurant the other day and my kid, it was a house turned into a breakfast bar, whatever, kind of little hipster joint, whatever. The other places had lines. So we just went to this one. And my kid is like, what is this place? And I said, this is where the people go that hate the world. So, because it just felt like they had something against everyone. And we were in line to get food, whatever. And the lady was all put out. My kid wanted an omelet with tomatoes in it or something. And she was like, no, can't do it. And it was some like, I didn't think what he was asking for was out of line, but okay. It was just one of those, like, there was no, I'm sorry, we can't do that because whatever, the tomato plant is dead or whatever. I don't know. She was just like, no.
Yeah.
She was just a grouch. And I'm like,
yeah.
You're the frontline person. You're the first person that we see in this restaurant. And it's a restaurant where they don't have wait staff. You have to get your food and then carry it to your table kind of thing. It was just a weird, like, you are the impression that we get from this business.
Well, the owner has said good help is hard to find and believe that.
Yeah.
Right. And so, And when you believe it, then that's what you get. And then you have people that don't want to come back. Yeah. Because it's not complicated. It sounds like a Jack Nicholson scene in a movie from the early 1970s, I think, about toast and asking, do you have egg salad or something or chicken salad? And, oh, yes, we have that. Well, can I have my chicken salad toasted? Yes, you can have that. Well, then, okay, so I want that, but hold the chicken salad. Such a great line. And then the waitress says, well, what do you want me to do with the chicken salad then? He says, I want you to hold it between your knees. And that was I think that was Easy Rider. As a motorcycle enthusiast, you may have to watch that movie.
I will definitely check that out.
It's not a movie for kids under 17. It is R-rated, but it's definitely that line by Jack Nicholson stuck with me for about 40 years. So
that's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Customer service secrets.
Customer service. Yes. Jack Nicholson and James Kademan. James, this has been a blast. I love this topic. I love your energy. You do some great things. I know you got a few businesses going on. And if people like what they're hearing from you today, where can they find more of you, sir?
If you go to drawincustomers.com, all one word, you can find a bunch of stuff, podcast, all that jazz. You'll find my email address, phone number. Feel free to reach out to me. Happy to talk business with anyone, as long as you're nice.
If you're nice, and you know what, you're going to have a great conversation. I can tell.
It's always
so. Yeah, this is great stuff. And so draw in. Say it one more time.
Draw in customers.
Okay. And we will put that in the show notes as well. And hopefully someone will have a conversation with you, James. You're definitely worthy.
Yeah, right. I appreciate it. I love it. Thank you for letting me be on the show here, Harry.
It's been a blast. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for listening to Sales Made Easy. If you found value in our conversations, please subscribe and leave a review. Our goal is to provide practical strategies for growing your business while staying true to your values. Remember, success in sales is about serving your clients. Serve first, and the selling will follow. We'll be back soon with more insights and inspiration. Until then, keep serving and providing value to others. Good things will happen.